Welcome to Veterans One. This is our first episode of an exciting new show that we get to meet incredible, inspiring stories. We get to talk to the business community, and we get to have all kinds of great guests that are making a difference in our veteran community. We are going to empower, we're going to engage, and we're going to meet some great people. We're going to get started right now. We've got a show ahead for you with an inspiring story. We've got an incredible nonprofit foundation here in San Diego that's making a huge difference in the lives of veterans. We're going to talk about home ownership and training, and we're going to get started. One of the most incredible veterans organizations that is making such a difference in lives is right here in San Diego. And today I am so happy to actually be talking to the founder and CEO in person. Hernan, thank you for being on the show. Workshops for Warriors, what a difference you guys are making. I want to dive in.
Well, thank you so much for having us on your show.
So Hernan, we are so excited to talk with you and find out how you are going to rebuild America's manufacturing workforce, one veteran at a time. Let's dive right in and hear the story.
I'd be happy to. One is, most civilians don't understand that when you're in the military, you're in this really tight fabric that is the U.S. military. And you're in this kind of like steel mesh where every day you know who you report to, you know who reports to you, and you know what your peers expect and demand from you. And we're not robots, but we just know where we are in this wonderful organization, which is the Department of Defense. And then all of a sudden, you get ripped out of this fabric and you're just kind of cast asunder. And it doesn't really hit you until you get out of the service. When you're in the service, you always think, oh, that will never be me, that would never happen. And then when you get out, it really hits you so hard that it's hard to understand unless you've been through that or unless you've been through it as a spouse or a girlfriend or significant other of a veteran. And I remember when I was on active duty and I was working in Washington, D.C., and I was working for Mr. Cheney at the time, so we had really long days every day. And I would go to the hospitals and I would see all of these young Marines that I had served with. At the time I was an officer, but before I had served with them when I was enlisted. And I'd see these Marines and they'd look at me and they'd say, "Hey Doc, how are you?" And we'd start chatting and I'd say, "Well, what are you here for?" And they'd say, "Well, I'm here for, I don't know, 11, 12, 15 months for rehabilitation." And I said, "Well, what do you do every day?" I said, "Well, I just wait for physical therapy, just wait." And you know, God did not create Marines to wait.
Right.
And I wound up seeing more Marines dying of drugs and suicide than of bombs and bullets. And so I thought, this is crazy, I've got to do something. But I was so busy that I couldn't do anything. So I decided, well, the little step that I can do is I could invite them over to my house. So they started tinkering and playing with the things in my garage, and I just started developing, but I just didn't have the bandwidth to do anything else. And then one day, I'm walking in this mall with my now wife, Rachel, and I hear, "Doc, Doc," out of the blue. And I look down and I see this guy. He says, "Doc, would you be my best man this Friday?" And I said, "Of course, I'd be happy to. But get up, buddy, give me a hug." And he said, "Well, I can't." I said, "Why?" I said, "Well, when you left me in Iraq, I stepped on a double-stack landmine, and I lost both my legs. And it only hit me there that he was in a wheelchair, and I just kind of tried to compose myself, and I said, yeah, I'll see you on Friday, I'll be there." And he wheeled himself away, and here I was, tough guy, combat veteran, tours in Afghanistan and Iraq, and I was in the middle of this mall, and my legs literally melted from underneath me. And I grabbed my wife's elbow and I said, "We're going to sell everything that we have, and we're going to do something." And to my wife's eternal credit, she said, "Yes, we are."
And that's when you made such a tremendous life change and created Workshops for Warriors, where you didn't just make a difference in one life. I want to get right to the meat of what you guys do there and how big this is and the difference it's made. Talk to me about the workshops and what it is you've done now for so many.
Well, fast forwarding past a whole bunch of stupid officer trips that I did until then, was we found out that what most departing service members wanted is something tangible, but most importantly, it had to be a lifelong career and an opportunity at a dignified salary with a way of accessing some type of career ladder. So what we decided on is advanced manufacturing. So there are currently 3.5 million advanced manufacturing jobs unfilled due to lack of skilled labor. And we thought this is a perfect opportunity for the men and women that have served. So what we've done at Workshops for Warriors is we've created the only accredited center in the United States that does certification, training, certification, and placement of veterans, wounded warriors, and transitioning service members into advanced manufacturing careers throughout America.
You're setting them up for life. You're giving them the tools. And is this a lengthy program that they're in there for years at a time getting this training? Why don't you tell us how quickly you can get somebody through with those certificates and into job placement?
Of course. So we offer 3 main courses of instruction. It's advanced machining, that's 3D printing, computer-aided design, computer-aided manufacturing, and then we offer welding fabrication, and we offer machinery repair. The 3 courses of instruction are 4 months long, 5 days a week, 9 hours a day. And it's just like the military. If your 3 tardies is a late, 3 tardies is an absence, and 5 absences equals immediate disenrollment. Our school is a filter, it is not a pump. But since 2011, we have proof, right? 94% of all of our graduates are placed and retained in full-time jobs. And after 4 months, our young men and women make an average of $60,000 a year.
What an impact that this is making, that you're not just helping someone one time, you're literally giving them the skills, the tools for a successful life from here forward and something they can be proud of. It's incredible. Now, here in San Diego, you know, a lot of us know that they're there, but you are really known nationally for what you're doing for our veterans. What's the wait list to get into your program, and what are you looking at to do to expand for what's coming ahead?
Well, we've been really fortunate. One is that we're really data-driven. My wife, you know, Rachel, if you're out there, you know, she's the smartest nerd I've ever met, like the cutest little nerd that I've ever met, and she's a survey methodologist and statistician. We are really driven by data. Everything we do is metric-driven. So if you know what success looks like, you're far more likely to achieve it. Our goal is to get people through our program, to get nationally recognized credentials, and then to get a full-time job. 94% of our graduates get full-time jobs. We have what we refer to as the double funnel. We have over 550 people on the waiting list for each one of the 3 classes that we offer 3 times a year. We have 2,500 written job offers for every one of our graduates, but we can only afford to put through 120 per year.
Wow. So you need to grow. We need to expand and get more people in through your program.
No, we need more money.
You need more money.
More consistent funding.
Okay, perfect.
So if you consider it, you say we have national exposure. We do. We're fortunate in that most Americans don't know that there are 45,000 veteran service organizations in the United States. 2% of them, like Workshops for Warriors, have revenues of over $1 million a year. 17% of that 2% actually have a physical location and full-time staff. So we have 24 full-time instructors, staff, teaching assistants that 6 days a week are busy teaching, training, and preparing the next generation of America's advanced manufacturing forces.
So we need to find you more funding.
Absolutely.
Is there any way right now as a community, especially here in San Diego, we can support you more? What's coming up for you guys that people can get involved with?
Absolutely. So please go to wfw.org. That's Workshops for Warriors, wfw.org. You can come to our gala on the 4th of April, and you can see how we're going to launch the largest advanced manufacturing training center in the world. It'll be 180,000 square feet on Main Street, San Diego, next to the world's largest naval base. And we'll be able to put through 1,350 graduates per year here in San Diego, so that we don't have this incredible pool of talent just leave San Diego. And we want to be able to harness that power. We want to rebuild America and San Diego's economic engine, so that 150 years from now, people will look back and they'll say, Workshops for Warriors and San Diego were the epicenter for America's green manufacturing renaissance.
It's so exciting. Thank you for coming in and sharing this. So many people think that they can't make a difference, and you are such an example of someone who took a passion and a heart and just said, I got to do something. And what you have done is absolutely incredible. So now we can walk alongside and support, get the message out, raise more funds, and get more graduates through your program.
Well,
thank you so much. I hope you come back and give us more details as you continue to grow and succeed. We want to know more.
Well, how about you bring five or six of your donors that want to donate? We need a couple of $1 million donors to help be the anchor donors for our $75 million expansion.
Okay.
We currently own all of the land that we need for our expansion. We just need to build on it.
We will find it.
Thank you.
Thanks. More Veterans One coming up.
What's important to us is that we attract the right people that are going to make us better once they get here. The home buying experience is on time, every time, and we never fail our clients. We help develop originators to become more relevant, more competitive, and more impactful for their clients out over the future.
We had one goal in mind: create the very best mortgage company in the nation while maintaining our core values and our commitment to serving others.
Synergy One has emerged as the lender of choice for top producing loan officers across the country. If you're interested in taking your business to the next level, please contact us today.
We expect to bring great things to the consumers across the country as they evolve in the mortgage process with us.
Our next guest is also making such a great impact on the veteran community, and he is also an Army veteran himself, so he's very passionate about all of the things that he's working on. David Smith, he is Business Development, Vice President of Business Development for Mutual of Omaha Mortgage. We have the privilege of meeting him right now. So good to talk to you, David.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Well, I know you have a lot to share. We're going to jump in on something that I know you're very passionate about that also is a very big deal for Mutual of Omaha Mortgage, and it is the Patriots Charity Initiative. Tell me the background of that.
Yeah, so Patriots Charity Initiative was something that was really put in place in 2015, and this was as an organization sitting down and realizing that we wanted to do something special for the veterans and the active duty servicemen and women that are out there. And so we put together the Patriots Charity Initiative, which was an opportunity for us to give back to those unique organizations. And through the Patriots Charity Initiative, we've had several different partners that we donate to, and we donate financially, we donate our time, we integrate with who they are as organizations, and it's just been a blessing.
So what are some examples? What have you guys done, or some of the organizations or direct impact that you've seen?
Yeah, so we kind of have a couple different focuses. One of them is the USO. USO's been around since World War II. United Services,
so wonderful.
United Services Organization. Yes. We see them all over the world, and what they do is they really focus on the active duty personnel and trying to maintain their contact with their family. They provide education. They provide all kinds of different unique things, and for us, we get to partner with them on the streets. We get to be a part of different functions with them. They afford us the opportunity to help train and teach our wonderful veterans about how VA loans work, and it's just amazing. Some of the other stuff that we are involved with are what we call our local charity initiative. What we do is we try and go across the entire country and find charities unique to individual cities that have a veteran focus that we can integrate ourselves with, and it's just it's been something that has really been incredible for our company, our employees, on integrating with this veteran community.
Yeah, how have you seen how that has kind of helped the culture of the Mutual of Omaha Mortgage employees and feeling like they're more a part of the community or giving back? What are you seeing as far as how that's helped the whole culture? Yeah,
that's a great question, because the reality is I get to travel all over the country and talk to a lot of our incredible employees, and they all know about it. They know what the Patriots Charity Initiative is. They know who these companies are that we're donating to and that we're working with. They ask me questions about it and kind of what's going on and what have you seen. And so from my standpoint, it's really fun to be a part of it. Right. And I think one of the things that's the most unique part of this is we've now donated over $3 million to these veteran organizations in just a relatively short period of time. And I know that our employees see that, and they know that number, and they talk about it all the time. And every time we get a chance to work with a veteran, these are things that we get to talk about. And I think it makes us unique in our marketplace.
Absolutely. And you know what I really love is that you pointed out it's not just helping the big organization USO, which is so wonderful. And I'm glad you pointed out that they really do work with the active duty service members and their families, because that's really important. But the fact that you guys are taking this initiative and plugging it right into the communities, it's to where every employee, no matter what part of the nation you work in, they feel like they have a hand in helping a veteran in their community. And I can imagine that that really changes the morale. And
so what that does, and kind of the separate side of that is, with our local charity initiative and what we're trying to do, we ask our employees, who do we want to be involved with? Who is it that means, what means something to you? Who matters in your world? And we found some of these incredible organizations like Combined Arms and MASH Pantry, and the list goes on, and organizations that we as a company get to go out and do functions right there with them and be a part of that community. So it's not just saying that we do this. It's actually believing it and being a part of it. It's pulling the business and the community together, which in this industry, it is a relationship business. The real estate, mortgage lending, that's about people. It's about impacting lives. So now you're taking that relationship business and putting it a step deeper and now affecting the veteran community. The employees are excited, the community is excited. What a great way to pair that together. That's awesome. I'm so glad you came in to talk about this. Is there any more that we can do to help with this initiative? Yeah, so we just really want to spread the word, because every time we have community events going on, we always want to have folks on hand to help these great charities out. With the USO, they do functions all across the country, and anytime that we can be a part of it, our community can be a part of it, our friends and family can be a part of it. These are things that matter to us. The Patriots Charity Initiative is just, it's a vehicle to allow us to accomplish great things. That's wonderful. And like you said, they can bring their families. Everybody can reach out and be a part of it and make that connection. Great stuff, David. Thank you. Thank you. That was great information. That's why we are excited to continue the conversation again with David. They have more exciting things that is going on to help veterans, and we will be seeing him again on the next episode. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Veterans One. My name is Joel Hernandez with Synergy One Lending. Here today I have Paige Hardy with Hardy Realtors. Paige, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
So, as you already know, we're definitely huge advocates of home ownership, and especially amongst the veteran community as well, too. I know you are as well. So what we want to do today is just basically discuss, some of the things that veterans might not know about the process of buying a home, how easy it is, and why they should be starting their purchase process with somebody like yourself, a realtor, and a lender like myself. That way they know what to expect and what to look for in an agent, what to look for in a lender, and just basically how the whole process goes.
Sounds good.
Awesome. All right. So what are some things that you love about the VA loan and how it's helped your borrowers?
So one thing that I personally really like about the VA loan is that it is a zero down payment home process. So one thing that I really enjoy telling my buyers is that, first of all, it doesn't cost them anything to use me to buy a home.
It's a big misconception.
And a lot of people don't know that. So when we get buyers out of state even, every state's different, but that's the first thing that I like to tell them is, hey, it is free to use me. Doesn't cost you anything. Don't worry about anything. There's no consult fees or anything weird like that. So I had someone ask me about that, and I just looked at him. I said, unfortunately, I get paid when it closes.
Right. So. Exactly, yeah. Well, same things happened to me as well, too. So even just to get the pre-approval started, take a look at the credit report. They don't have to pay for anything. There are some banks that do charge even $200-300 for the application fee, credit report fees, but there really shouldn't be any charge for any of those things. So just to even find out what they can do, how much is your buying power? What can you get pre-approved for? What are the different loan types that you can get if VA isn't going to be the best option in this case right here? But that's got to be the first thing: is don't disqualify yourself. Don't don't listen to what a friend told you about how difficult it used to be 2 years ago or why they didn't qualify. So they definitely got to start off talking to a lender, talking to a realtor, and that way they can find out, okay, this is what you can get pre-approved for, or maybe you can't get pre-approved today because of X, Y, and Z, but if we work on the credit report, we do a couple things right here, pay these debts off right there, then it could be a totally different story in the next couple of months or even the next couple of days. So definitely got to get started by speaking to a lender first. And it's a lot more affordable than a lot of vets even think as well, too. And I know you had a story about a client that purchased a home with no down payment, no closing costs, and even got some money back towards some of their credit cards at the end as well, too. So why don't you tell us a little about that?
So a very close friend of ours, they were moving here from Virginia, so totally different experience than moving to California than they thought. So initially they said, okay, let's see what renting would be like versus owning. So we gave them, some net sheets and said, okay, this is what it's going to be if you rented. You're going to have first month's, last month's down payment. In this case, they had a dog, so dog deposit, which never guaranteed that you'll get that back.
Right.
And then so we looked on the other side of purchasing. I said, okay, you're not going to have a down payment. You need to speak to a lender, obviously, and see if they'll be able to give you some closing costs. So we got into contract. The seller paid all their closing costs, and they got money back. And they threw in a washer, dryer, and refrigerator, and a barbecue. And
nice.
So they had literally nothing out of pocket when they bought this condo. And then we sold it for them 3 years later. Price went up. Got to get all of their profits tax-free, up to $500,000 because they were married. So,
awesome. All right, so that's
pretty awesome story.
Pretty ideal scenario right there. So first big thing, down payment. If you're buying for less than whatever the county limit is, so here in San Diego, it's obviously a little bit more expensive, so you can buy up to $690,000 today. Those county limits are going to change every single year as the count, as the median income and median home prices go up and down, and so it's a little bit more expensive now at $690,000, but you work primarily in Riverside County where it's a little bit lower out there as well too, right?
Yes. So in Riverside County, the loan limit is $453,900, which is a little bit lower, but obviously, people don't make as much as they do in San Diego County. But it's great for vets or former veterans and current military to move up to that area because homes are just more affordable. I mean, a home that you can get down here in San Diego is not going to be the same price as, in Temecula or Marietta, for example. So.
Right. So it's a little bit more affordable out there. You might have a little bit of a drive, if you're working at a Miramar or, say, Camp Pendleton, one of those places. And Paige, so you were mentioning that you had an awesome listing in Oceanside that veterans should be interested in as well.
I do. So I have a listing over in North Oceanside, and it's right next to the north gate of Camp Pendleton. And it is the cutest little house. Kitchen is super upgraded, so you don't have to do much of anything. There's views on a cul-de-sac, and I mean the price is amazing. Under $500.
That's awesome. So
well under the loan,
the $690 county limit, which is great. Yeah.
So definitely perfect for anybody using their VA loan, because I know if you can get your closing costs covered, you pretty much just move into a new home and don't have to do anything.
So there's no down payment. It's possible to ask the seller and the lender to help out with part of the closing costs. That way they can hypothetically walk in with little to no money out of pocket and can't even do that with the rental. You'd have to pay first month's, last month's, security deposit, pet deposit as well too. And so, and as you mentioned earlier, there's even some times where you can have all the closing costs covered, have extra funds, and get that applied towards credit cards or car loans or any of the debts they might have as well too.
Yep,
so
any debts.
Might not happen on every scenario, but it's a possibility, and it's definitely one of the reasons why veterans should reach out, see if they can get pre-approved, talk to a realtor, find out what's in the area, and just try to get a piece of that American pie as well too.
And I think it's a big deal for sellers nowadays that when they see a VA loan, they have those pulls on their heartstrings saying, okay, thank you for your service. You've done a lot, especially what's been happening in the world thus far, that when people see a VA loan, they don't get as scared as maybe, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, a lot's definitely changed. It's become so much more user-friendly. And I mean, even back in the day, getting a certificate of eligibility might have taken a long time, but now it's automated where you can get it in seconds. And it's definitely still possible to close in less than 21 days on a VA loan. And the appraisals don't take the super long times that everyone thought that they used to take back in the day as well too. So there's a lot of pros to getting a VA loan. They have interest rates that are lower than conventional mortgages. There's no down payment. You get the seller to cover a lot of the closing costs. The underwriting guidelines are more flexible than just about any type of loan out there as well too. And there's no mortgage insurance. So in my opinion, it's pretty much like the ultimate down payment assistance loan, but it's a loan that these guys truly deserve. And so I love doing them because I'm a veteran. It's like I'm working with somebody that I used to be in the Marine Corps with, back in the day. And so it's an awesome loan. So not only is it a good loan, but we feel good helping them out as well, too.
You feel, and I have plenty of family. I've got a cousin in the Marines right now. He was stationed in Okinawa. And that's, we sold his house and he moved over there. But I definitely appreciate everything he's done, and he definitely deserves that loan. And, I think everybody that can get their VA eligibility should use it.
Absolutely. All right,
it's a no-brainer.
Well, thanks so much, Paige. And how can people get in touch with you?
So the best way to get in touch with me is probably either text or phone calls. And my phone number is 951-595-0517. So
awesome.
Anytime. Except for middle of the night, I won't answer.
All right, sounds good. Well, thanks so much for being here with us at Veterans One. If you have any VA loan questions or you want to know how to get started, reach out to me at 760-655-1409. We'll be back in a few minutes. Thank you.
It was so wonderful to get to meet Hernan today and find out the incredible workshops for warriors and what they're doing to get our veterans out there in the workforce and change their lives one at a time. Really great stuff. Also so glad we got to meet David today and hear about all the great training and what they're partnering with USO and giving back to the community. And a super thank you to Joel and Paige for coming on and talking about the importance of VA home ownership and how we are empowering that American dream. You don't want to miss what we've got coming up for the next episode of Veterans One.